This show brought to you by Sim racing chassis used for this video is the GT Omega Pro. Check them out at gtomegaracing.com. Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm Darren Ganji, and for any of you that have purchased the Thrustmaster TX or T300 RS racing wheel and pedal set, you know that the pedals, mainly the brake, leaves a lot to be desired. You know, for those of you that either can't afford a T3PA set of pedals or can't find them because they are in high demand and they're hard to find, you may be looking for an alternative for these pedals, and I've got a pretty good one for you here. So they are missing a clutch, but honestly you can do most of your sim racing without a clutch. Unless you're going for the ultimate realism, then you need a T3PA set of pedals. So now there's a way that you can do a quick, cheap, and easy mod to your T300 or TX brake pedal to add some progression to help you hit your marks more consistently under braking, and it's only about $10. Our forums are such a great place to find mods like this, and I'd like to thank Ashasha for sharing this one in particular with us. He provides links to source the parts, and I'm going to tell you where I got mine, tells you how to do it. And a quick disclaimer, watch the whole video. Don't watch half of this and run out and get this and do it based on ashasha's thread and what I tell you at first, because I change it up. I installed it, tested it, put it on the GT Omega chassis I've got sit behind me, and needed to make two different changes. So pay attention to the whole video. It's only about 10 minutes. You'll see exactly what I did. So the first thing you're going to need to do is source the parts, and actually make sure you have the tools, and they're pretty basic. A pair of scissors and a needle nose pliers, which I honestly didn't need, but if you want to be a little more precise with the placement of mainly the rubber foot here, use a set of needle nose pliers. Actually, a regular set of pliers might work too. But anyway, that's all the tools that you need. You need a set of pedals, TX or T300 pedals, and then you need to source the parts. So the first part is the Waxman. They're called a Waxman 4-pack felt pad. Basically, it's like a furniture gripper, so you would basically apply this to like the foot of a piece of furniture, and then it provides grip, you know, on like a hardwood floor or tile floor or something like that. A 4-pack of those goes for $5.40, including tax, and I got those from Lowe's Home Improvement. And again, I'm gonna have two links here in the description, one to Lowe's for this and one to Amazon for these. I ended up getting these locally at Ace Hardware. Was hoping I could find both parts at either Ace or Lowe's, and neither had both. Either that or I couldn't find these at Lowe's, but I definitely couldn't find these at Ace. But anyway, got these at Ace Hardware for $2.60. So now I'm at a total of $8 for 4 of these and 10 of these. Then, this is not something Ashasha did, but I recommend getting some super glue if you don't have any. You can get some, I found some at Ace Hardware at their website for $2.99, so a little over $3, and it's similar to what I use, which is some Loctite super glue. I think it was like a gel, and I'll get to that, why I use the super glue here in a minute. At Shasha, I mentioned the T3PA pedals. He drew his inspiration for this mod based on the conical brake mod on the T3PA pedals. So the first thing you need to do is take one of the furniture grippers or felt pads, whatever you want, Waxman felt pads, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to need to cut just a sliver off of both sides on each end. You basically need to square this thing out so it fits down in here. Okay, and then he recommends cutting a 1/2 inch off one side so you leave the other side rounded. I ended up cutting about a 1/4 inch off both sides, so my piece ended up being more squared or almost rectangular shape when I was done. So once you've got that done, and again, this is ashasha's method, he recommends installing it into the base behind the brake pedal. Then once you've got that done, you're going to take one of the rubber feet, pull off the paper backing to expose the adhesive, and needless to say, do that on your Waxman felt pad. And he recommended applying it with a set of needle nose pliers. So basically, you're going to hold it, hold the rubber foot with the needle nose, and then you can better position it behind that brake pedal, or on the pedal arm, I should say. And then once you've got that done, push on the pedal to get them to adhere, to the adhesive adheres as best as possible, and then install your pedals. So I did that, tested it out, and by the way, I used the iRacing BMW Z4 GT3 car, which has analog brakes, because I knew in that car that to get the most out of the analog brakes, you had to go full brake, for a second as you were coming into some of the braking zones. And I went to Daytona Road Course, since I've got a lot of hours running there recently for the 24 Hours of Daytona. I posted a video on earlier this month. So I knew where my lap times were, and I wanted to see if I could get close or as consistent with these pedals as I did with basically very similar to a T3 PA. I have a 7 modified T500 pedals with basically a conical brake mod in it. So they're very similar to the T3 PA pedals. So I tried that, and my problem was these rubber pads, or rubber feet, whatever you want to call them, was sliding up the pedal arm. Now, either I'm pushing a lot harder than ashasha is, and I was running some racing shoes, some Simpson racing shoes, or the adhesive backing on his rubber feet was stronger than what I've got. And because he didn't mention having a problem. Matter of fact, he posted in our forums after he showed us the mod saying that his lap times got a lot better and that he couldn't go back to racing without it. So this didn't work for me, and I thought, well, I guess I could super glue this, but I thought, what, why don't I try something else? So I had another set of pedals. I have this TX set, and plus I had a T300 set. So I decided to pull the T300 pedals out, and I basically flipped things around. And I installed the rubber foot in the base and the furniture gripper on the pedal arm. Tried that, worked pretty good. And then I've got some close-up shots you're going to notice here that the backing on the gripper, it's basically has a felt backing on here, started separating from the rubber. So I was thinking, man, am I going to have to scrap this whole idea, or what can I do to get this to work? That's where the super glue comes into play. So luckily my wife had some. I went and grabbed it and applied a bunch to the back of the rubber gripper and applied it to the back of the pedal arm. Ran a ton of laps, and everything stuck beautifully. Voila! Worked like a charm. So I recommend, and this is more like the conical brake mod. The conical brake mod is in the base, and you're basically pushing against it. So I recommend installing the rubber pad in the base, the gripper on the arm, on the pedal arm, and before you do, I recommend, and this is where that super glue comes into place, separate this felt backing from the rubber and attach it with super glue, because then even if you attach the felt with super glue, I got a feeling it's going to separate between the rubber and the felt. So I just recommend applying this directly to the back of your pedal, and you're good to go. So again, I'd like to thank Ashasha for posting these in our forums. I'm going to have a link right here. Actually, you can click on it if you're watching on YouTube. Speaking of which, we'd appreciate a subscription and a thumbs up on this video if you're watching here on YouTube, which most likely you are. But on a PC, you can click on the annotation. If not, go in our description and you can check out his thread, comment on him, thank him for posting it, and actually, if you have any questions, you can post them either there in that thread or here in the comments on YouTube, and I'll be happy to answer them for you as far as doing this. And again, this is very affordable, just a little over 10 bucks, and you have multiples. So if you have any problems like I did, you got multiple pieces to either do another one, or try something else, or share it with a friend. So you could really do this mod for $5 if you split it in half with a buddy that has the the same pedal set. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. I'd say it's definitely going to improve your consistency, hitting your marks under braking. And then on top of that, using these pedals, you get 1028 bits of resolution. I may be saying that wrong, but bottom line is, this compared to, say, a Logitech G27 with the pedals connected, or even a Fanatic wheel with its pedals connected, you only get like 256 bits of resolution. So with these, you get 1028. So you get a very precise set of pedals, and then you get that progressive brake, and I'd say it's going to last you. It's going to do the job, and I would almost guarantee that your braking is going to improve with these, whether you're running ovals and you need to brake, let's say at a Martinsville, or especially on the road course side. So anyway, come to our website, check out that forum thread, check out our daily news that we've got posted. We also cross-post it on Facebook and Twitter, so like us there and follow us there. And again, subscribe to us here on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. For Inside Sim Racing, I'm Darren Ganji. That's going to wrap it up. See you guys next time.